All right. We're back talking about the baseball from this weekend. History from around the league as we're finishing up a week and a half left. The final day of the regular season is October 5th, Wednesday. I think I've got that.
That sounds right.
My calendar is opening. Yep. October 5th, Yom Kippur.
Ooh.
So, okay.
Not eating.
Not eating. We're eating here. The stories around baseball, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's tough, but a lot of the story has already been written. Like, if this was a Harry Potter book, we could only add so much to the story at this point. You know the players. You know the game. There's, Neville Longbottom. I'll stop with the Harry Potter. Albert Pujols hit 700. That was Friday night? Or was that Saturday?
That was Friday night.
Friday night. Just special. 700. I've told you here. I've told Talking Baseball, even told Talking Yanks, how truly special that is. I don't know if we're going to see it again. Genuinely, I don't know if we're going to see it again. With where pitching has gotten to and the stamina and duration that you need to get there, Roman. Albert gets to 700. The guys up there are, Henry Aaron, George Herman Ruth, or steroids. Am I missing a 700? MLB home run.
And Bonds is the other one in there.
But it's a special thing. Like, how many of these guys are dependent? There's only 4 players that have hit 700 home runs. Barry Bonds, people argue, was the best player of all time, times steroids. Henry Aaron, kind of goated in his own way. Like, just a beast. Yeah. Racked up homers for years. Babe Ruth, you already know. Albert Pujols is the only one joining that crew. A-Rod just missed out on that, and he's steroids by one of the most talented players ever. Anyways, Albert, the fact he got here is insane. Like 21 homers. He did hit 23 in 2019, but the stat line is nowhere close to it. He was a sub. He was a 92 OPS plus that year.
Yeah.
He has a
juice ball year, like
the 145 OPS plus. He hasn't done that since St. Louis in 2011. How good he has been, and a year where hitting is down, like that needs to be noted. It's remarkable. And I'd love to know if for him it feels like just coming back to St. Louis, or he found something in his swing. Like, what does it really mean? Because he hasn't been...
Just pressure of the contract is off.
He hasn't been this guy for a decade. 10 years. And that's where, Lorenzo, we got ice, Zoe, you may know him as. He wanted me to potentially do some stuff with them this week because they don't... Zoe's what, 22?
22. Born.
So 10 years ago, he was 12. Yeah. Zoe had a pretty unique growing up. He's got like 40 brothers and sisters. And he kind of got into sports, I don't want to say later in life, but he, when you have that many siblings.
He wasn't like playing them growing up. And
he doesn't really have any idea how good Albert Pujols was. And I don't blame him. I think a lot of young people don't. But yeah, his first 10 years of his career, he was a .331 batting average guy. Only won the batting title once. Hit 300s every year, but he averaged a .331 batting average.
Wild.
426 on base, sure. A 1.050 OPS. His average season, his average season, his first 10 years, he played 156 games per year, so he's playing every day. 41 homers. Average season, 41 homers, 123 RBI, more walks than strikeouts. 43 doubles, too. I know you don't care about that too much, but I mean...
It's not one we, track.
We're talking about 80-plus extra base hits a year.
Toss it in the pot.
Guy was a freak show. The only guy who had some years similar to that regularly was Mickey Cabs, who we're also celebrating, but it's also a similar timeline almost. 3 MVPs in a 5-year stretch. He also has 4 second-place MVPs.
Seeing a third in there as well.
It's...
I remember going into that free agency, he hit 299, and he finished 5th. And everyone's like, man, going into that free agency, didn't finish top 3 and didn't bat 300. Is that going to go well? And I guess it ended up kind of right, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's funny now that we're all going to play a little bit of a what if Albert had stayed in St. Louis, which just doesn't even make sense. Because how? How? It just doesn't work like that. We're seeing a little bit of magic this year. Guy is the all-time leader in grounded into double plays. Shout out to Trevor Plouffe. I copied his stance as a youth, which blows my mind a little bit because I'm becoming an older man. I'm becoming a man that, to go back to 2001 or 2004 or heck 2006 and, picture little me looking in the mirror, like actually copying his arms and his timing and his toe tap. Didn't work for me at all. At all. It almost ended, I think it ended my baseball career. I was trying to do way too much. Should have just had a normal stance at the plate. But that's how good this guy was. And he is this year. So 700 home runs, you kind of have to, there is a chance it doesn't happen again. We've talked about that. And the fact that he did it. And Greg Amsinger was on it.
Yeah.
That's a little kooky. I don't know what that's about. I mean, a little bit of a throwaway line. But also to, find that game on the schedule in September.
Yeah. St. Louis guy, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe he just is always looking at Cardinals' schedule.
So that's pretty cool. On the other side of it, Aaron Judge has not homered since number 60. Tuesday was in the building for that. Was in the building for Thursday, like a lot of the company. BBD was.
I was there.
And then was there on Sunday, yesterday, Amtrak game. That was really cool, incredible seats. Gets rained out while he's on deck. Game ends. Would have been cool to see him get one more at bat. The pressure's starting to become a real thing. I think I told people on here and Talking Yanks how Judge smartly said the home run record is Bonds because that's what the record book says. And that's a really smart way to deflect that question because it's not wrong. The record book reflects it. He's a Bay Area kid. It was a really good move by him to drop that. 3 games in Toronto. The Yankees have essentially clinched the AL East. They're on a 7-game win streak, by the way.
Yeah.
Kind of out of left field. The team feels a lot better. I know they played bad teams, but there's some players that have come back and look better. Gleyber Torres is playing probably my favorite brand of baseball. Gleyber Torres has played as a Yankee. Rizzo's back. Stanton's run into a couple. Donaldson has been better. So the Yankees on the whole feel a lot better. But yeah, Judgy, I saw the first tweet yesterday that was like, it's been 22 at-bats. And it's like, you just got to be careful that doesn't become part of the storyline. Because that's the shit the media loves. Just loves. And yeah, as a Yankee fan, I obviously don't want it to weigh down on the big fella and become more of a thing. So he might have waved at us last night.
There's some sort of look.
We think he gave a little, like, bop to the chest wave. I think Jimmy has it on video.
Check the tape.
And this should be part of the reveal, the Thursday game I went to, Aaron Judge's wife, Sam, came up, and we had a fantastic conversation. She said, we love your guys' stuff. So,
oh, nice.
That's pretty nuts. So let's hope that happens soon. I mean, the only counter to let's have that happen soon, which I've told people, is having it happen on the road would be kind of mid.
Yeah.
How about
for
this?
him, tie it in Toronto, get that off.
Yeah, you need to tie it soon.
He needs, with the record book and the 154.
Yeah.
Get 61 and 154, and people will be happy about that. And you get that off your back. Break it when you come back against Baltimore.
Yeah, because they come back and they face Baltimore for 3 this weekend. So, yeah, I guess that's my concession I will easily make, is 61 kind of needs to happen in Toronto.
I was saying all weekend to people when we talked about it, I was like, well, if he doesn't get it this weekend while they're home, probably just first at bat in Toronto it happens.
That would be fine. That would be fine. And then, I don't know. Really obnoxious of me, but 62 feels like a stadium event. Like, if he hits 2 in Toronto, I don't know. It's cool, obviously.
I'm not going to sit here and be upset if he
But in Yankee Stadium? So, all right. Still getting snobby about it, apparently. But Judge is it'll become more and more of a thing. They're doing the live cut-ins to games when they can. Like, it's walking the streets of New York, you're likely to run into an Aaron Judge conversation. Like,
literally, when I was on the way to Thursday's game, walked by a guy who I didn't strike as owning a method to watch the game.
Yeah.
I was wearing a Yankee jersey, and I just hear through my headphones, Judge is going for the record.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. I kind of kept it moving, but yeah.
Yeah, and it's, yeah. Yeah. It's still fun. It's good conversation.
Stadium's buzzing.
Stadium's a buzz. I mean, before the games, everyone's saying it's got to be tonight, and it hasn't been tonight. So
it's fun because it can literally happen anytime he comes up. So you'll always convince yourself.
Yeah, I guess there hasn't been the, correct me if I'm wrong, BBD. There hasn't been, the oh shit, bases low. Well,
the Thursday night 9th inning.
What was that?
It would have been the walk-off. He put the real charge into it. Fox cameras.
Oh, yeah.
All the way
we had
up.
the one scare. I never thought it was out.
Off the bat, I did, and pretty quickly, your eyes, when
right.
you're at the stadium, you turn to the center fielder, and he looked like beat on it. But
I never thought it was out. I guess.
I was like, oh, does it? But
yeah.
Watching on TV, I would have. Absolutely. If you check out those videos.
Around the world of baseball.
Yanks 15-4 in their last 19.
94 wins. Yankees have 10 games left. They go 6-4. They can win 100 games. So it's, a little bit of a roller coaster if they could finish and stay hot, which 6-4. I mean, that's not even necessarily hot, but 100-win season would be very impressive for them, while the Rays and Jays jostle for some playoff seeding. Jays are up 2 games on them. I guess we'll see. We'll see what the Yankees look like in Toronto. But yeah, the other thing that's kind of a buzz amongst baseball is the fact that there's kind of not really a buzz. A lot of the races are done. Astros 17-game lead in the West. Yankees are 8.5 up in the East. The Cleveland Guardians, do you know their lead on the White Sox now?
I happened to just pull up the standings.
10 games, double digits. Remember they went into a series 3 games apart last week? Wheels can come off quickly in baseball, and that's happening in Chicago. Kudos to the Guardians, 9-1 in their last 10. The young guys continue to do it. I love the energy around their team. I was really tough on the Guardians and their front office, and that's where, luckily, Jimmy, Trev, Beebs, they kind of walked me in the right direction. Like, you don't dislike the players. You don't dislike some of the things their front office is doing and not...
Every button they pushed this year seemed to be right. You could have had to press fewer buttons.
I just
acted like the other ones, but
I think there's still room somewhere on this team for another free agent scary bat in the middle. And by the way, their lineup's been great, so I'm not critiquing them.
and one of their proven bats, coming into the year, one of the guys you thought was locked in.
Yeah, not. So yeah, it's where
they pushed every right button.
Baseball is a sick sport. They're pitching. I mean, Bieber and Tristan McKenzie, that's a tough little 1-2 in the playoffs. Watch out for that. Class A on the back end with some of their young, talented bullpen arms. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Central, still unimpressive on the whole. Good for the Guardians for taking over. And, yeah, excited to see how they look in the 3-game playoff. And if they move on, it would likely be against our Yankees. So... I won't talk trash. Because let's see. Tito at the helm. They're not going to be scared, I don't think. I think they're young and dumb enough to enjoy it. I guess let's see. And let's see who they get matched up with. Because I think I like them over Tampa. I think. I don't think I'd like them over Toronto or Seattle. But I could be wrong.
Right now, at the time of recording... It's Toronto, Tampa, Seattle.
Right.
The wild card.
Right. Mets and Braves, I guess they are the best race left. Mets have 2 with the Marlins before we play 3 in Atlanta. Me and Moylan deep dove into some of that on the last episode of Talking Baseball. I guess hopefully those 3 games are electric. Baseball could use that from a game front because this is the first year of the new playoff format, and it really feels like unless the Brewers can pull something special out late, most of it is wrapped. They're a game and a half back of Philadelphia. Philadelphia 3-7 in their last 10. They're skidding. Like Milwaukee's going to have a chance. They play St. Louis. Phillies, they play at the Cubs. Dodgers, 106 wins. 106 wins. So, that's kind of a little baseball around the horn for you guys. Like I said, it's funky. Unless if Philly keeps slipping and Milwaukee goes a little more, we've got something fun there. Mets and Braves can cause their own sort of chaos, but it's not really going to change how you think of the Mets or Braves. I think it would be a gut punch to the Mets, who have been so good at leading the division all year. As of right now, I would still, it sounds dumb because they have a game and a half lead, but I'd still take the Mets. It feels Giants and Dodgers from last year that the Giants had been so proud to hold off the Dodgers all year that they had to finish it. Mets kind of the same. Like, for the Braves to think that they can sneak it out from you final weekend of the year, that would piss me off as a Mets player, and I'd be like, we are doing anything we can to not let that happen. All right, so that's your baseball. We can do a little, comment of the day.
Ooh.
Wake and Jake, the Bakers, you guys are the best. Like we said on YouTube now, we're doing the double episode release. It was after the Aaron Judge's 60th home run. That game was on a Tuesday night. Was at that game. Yankees had the crazy comeback. And CJ said, enjoyed hearing your personal firsthand account of a historic Yankee moment. Vibes of a Tim K verbal essay. Shout out to Kirkchin. I'm sure he will do one about this insane season, and I can't wait to hear it. Yeah, I can go for a Tim Kirkchin verbal essay. Let's see. Classy Carlos, I was supposed to be there, but I had a class at 7 p.m. and I couldn't skip because I had to hand in an essay. A lot of essay talk.
Ooh.
Missed one of the greatest regular season innings in Yankees history. Yeah. Yeah, that's why you skip school when it's okay to skip school. Okay. Don't take that out of context too much. Let's see. Mark Joyce. Happy Earth, Wind, and Fire Day. That's right. Yeah. 21st day of September. So, thank you guys. I appreciate you. Keep baking the algorithm. And Tom Milligan. I know there's a little bit of hockey. We're comparing home run races to anything else. Ovechkin is chasing down some NHL records. 2 to 3 seasons from attacking some of Gretzky's stuff. So, yeah, those would be in the hockey realm. That's pretty big, I think. Let's get there. Let's get there, Ovi. So, thank you guys for baking the algorithm. And for those of us, we're messing with the new YouTube formatting a little bit. Podcast should still be the same for you, but I appreciate you guys being patient. Got to play the YouTube game a little bit. You got a bro of the night, PPD?
Is there an individual guy I'm thinking about? Kind of just personally, like I guess it's a bruh. And the Eagles being good is annoying.
Okay.
Because I'd love to start irrationally dreaming on the Giants. That's the team I like.
Right.
After tonight, they were potentially 3-0. I could be doing some dreaming. Like, well, you luck into a 4-1 start, and do I think they're actually that good? But can you backpedal your way in, and then anything can happen? You can have fun. But the Eagles are just good.
Yeah.
So that kind of stinks. So the rest of the division is kind of the same story it always is.
Yeah, it feels like the NFC East besides the Eagles, who
and the Eagles very well might be kind of the same thing, just the only real team.
Yeah.
But they feel good.
I think piggybacking off of that, I'd just drive home the point. Jalen Hurts he looks like one of the best quarterbacks in football. There's nothing fluky. There's nothing about it. Like I even his throwing motion, there's something to be said. Like he's worked so hard to get better that it clearly shows. His throwing motion used to be criticized. He looks clean. His deep ball was beautiful. And Trevor Lawrence, like I mentioned, now on the year, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception, completing passes at a 70% clip. It could be happening down there. And him and Doug Peterson may be the perfect match. So that's the baseball. That's the bros. There's so much stuff on Jomboy Media.
Warehouse Games, new thing.
Warehouse Games, I just retweeted it. The Ball in Play League. It's a little blitzball, baseball meets cricket. Chris Rose is in the booth with Darren Sammy, who, if you don't know who that is, Google him. One of the coolest people I've ever met. I'm excited to watch because I didn't get to listen to Rose and Sammy. I heard some of it, but I heard it was as electric as it gets. And you know what? Do yourself a favor. Do Jom a favor. You know how much he's in to the cricket. He assembled this to be the entertaining, fun thing that you enjoy about baseball or blitzball or whatever it is we're doing. So go check it out. BBD competes in there. And yeah, I guess if you're deep in the Jomboy Media web, there's a lot of JM celebs in there. Zach, brother Luke, Robbie Srirachi, Lennon Bill. I mean, there's some real Jomboy Media in there. I'm sure I'm missing people too, so I'm sorry. But go check that out. Any of the Yankee stuff, I mean, Talking Yanks, Pinstripe Strong. Kind of have a cool Yankee guest in the office today you might see. Ooh. Shea Station. They got to be excited but nervous coming up. And then, JJTV, Talking Baseball, Rose Rotation, everything on Jomboy Media. Farm the Famers. Big week. Big week. I mean, 2 weeks till playoffs? Not even. It's going to be a big October.
Hey, hold up. Don't start a fight.
From Friday, playoffs
He's got
start.
you covered with all the sports. Don't fret.
Thanks, everybody.
He's wearing shorts. It's time for Wake and Jake in the morning. Wake and Jake at night. Jake sucks.